Hello everyone and welcome to Arcane Focus D&D for Magic and Mostead episode 97!
Hey,
3 away!
You got it right.
I did. Joined with me are my amazing players. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Mike, but my amazing players is Amber, Temple, and Steve. Could you please give us those legalese?
I'd be happy to. Hello, everyone. My name is Steve. I am a community manager for Wizards of the Coast. Just wanted to let you guys know that thoughts and opinions expressed on this stream are of my own. So please, let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
And anywho, back to the show.
Well, we're going to do a quick recap for this buddy here, and then we'll probably put him down to sleep. But before then, let's do a quick recap, unless you guys have any questions before we begin.
Nope.
Yes.
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 No announcements?
Nothing
we
as of
did
yet.
pick the winner.
Yeah,
But
I think
I'm afraid of using their username because I may butcher.
for sure. By the time
I think it's the Joshed,
Yeah.
but in case
by
I
the
screw
time this
that up.
video goes out, the
You'll
Josh
probably
has
have
already
a
been
shirt.
taken care of.
Yeah.
It's on its way. Congratulations, by the way. Hey,
It's on the way.
it's on the way. All right, you guys ready for a quick recap?
See.
I'll move this recap over here. In a split decision, our party hides the best they can as the door to Beach's home is banged on without mercy. Arcane magic is used as Vera and Rolly become invisible, and Savannah hides in the shadows. Bang, bang. Beacha is thrown back as a stripe leg, enforcer and mage walk into the room. With a wave and whisper of arcane words, one of the members, the mage, spots Rolly and a fight begins. Blades and spells and reactions to very different and disturbing looking long-necked pseudo clerics occur until finally Beecha runs away to safety, and one of the members of Genesis is poisoned. Excuse me, not Genesis, of the Striped Leg Clan, is poisoned and interrogated and killed. With the tower in sight, our party rushes past gold golems, persuades stressed guards, and sneaks past resting armies of dead. A bit winded, our heroes rush up a stairwell to the second-story balcony that overlooks the western side of the floating fortress. The party's, minus Vera, rest is ruined by a series of events. A second wave of abduction occurs as light shines across the sky, shaking the island. More innocents were taken to fuel Evergrey's quest. 2. The screams of a dragon can be heard as the golden form of Godrix finally succumbs to his wounds and goes into a freefall. And finally, the shaking causes one of the moth-like creatures to loosen its grip upon the tower's walls and falls in the middle of the party's makeshift camp. We find ourselves right now with you guys. Vera coming out of her rest, fully rested. It was Savannah's watch, you were fully aware, and Rolly, you spring awake as the sound of growling, screeching, and the impact upon stone and scattering of furniture wakes you up. We will begin a pseudo-initiative right now, as it's only one creature has fallen, but we'll see what happens after we put you to bed. Be right back for a baby break. And we're back. We took a bit of a little extra break, solving problems, fixing things. So, we're going to try to go back into this. We now join Rolly springing up from the large thud and sliding of furniture and the squeal and growl of this peppered moth, this creature of blackened face that is currently absorbing all of the light with just 2 round red eyes. The fur and feathers are like this sort of weird leather skin that has a bit of like the fur on top of his shoulders. Hits the ground, is currently prone, screaming. Vera, you're still groggy waking up from your finished long rest, almost like immediate waking up. So you're like aware, but all this is happening. And Savannah, you're clearly coming right out of your your rest or your, what's it called?
Watch.
Watch. Thank you. With that all said and done, we're gonna go into what I like to call pseudo initiative. I would like all of you to roll initiative. We're gonna take the lower of you three, and he's gonna roll. It's only one of them. Okay, I got the lowest.
I rolled a 7.
A 7?
So I rolled an 11 for the first one, but because it's initiative and also I have advantage on initiative checks, the second roll was an 11.
Okay, so your initiative.
Not too hot.
Your initiative is what?
+2.
So you have a 13?
No. So you're taking the lowest, right? Or are you taking?
No. All of you are gonna roll initiative. I'm gonna take the lowest of your initiatives.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I rolled a 13 then.
Okay, 13 is currently the lowest. Vera?
4.
A 4. 4 is currently the lowest. What did Savannah get?
A 16.
16. Hey, at least you guys are burning out the low rolls
I didn't
now.
want to roll that dice, to be fair, but I still rolled it like an idiot, so it's in jail now.
Locked up.
The sound of a thudding body hits it. It flips around. I would say the first thing it would see is probably Savannah being the more awake and alert, probably spinning around as quickly as you can. It rushes towards you, actually has to push some of the chairs and couches. They go flying off the edge of the balcony, hitting the floor below. It's gonna go for an attack for a dirty 20 to hit.
It hits.
I'm trying to think of the scenario how you guys would be set up. Would you, Savannah, be taking your watch close to the party, or would it be like further away near the balcony?
I'm trying to remember what the layup of how we described it. So probably if I was gonna take a watch, I'll probably be closer to the balcony.
Okay. So first attack is going to do. Oh no.
Yes.
I don't like the oh no.
19.
I don't know if the oh no is good for me or good for you.
19 points of slashing damage.
Dodge?
Oh no.
You can. To reducing it to 8.
Ugh.
These blackened claws, or the talons, I should actually say, it sort of flaps upwards, getting a bit of its hind legs to. You actually feel the warmth of the wound as it starts to open up. It's then going to use its secondary attack, because it has a multi-attack. It's going to use a secondary attack to do a grapple.
Ugh.
Actually, no, it's going to attempt to do a shove. So I need you to roll me a, I believe it's athletics or acrobatics.
I'm rolling acrobatics. Screw that.
Okay.
Plus, that's gonna be a 22.
22. He got a 19. It grips like sort of the collar and clothing you have on your chest, and with a large strike down of its wings, it attempts to bring you up. How do you keep yourself surfaced? It's attempting to push you off the balcony.
Trying to bring me up to put me on the surface. If I'm against the balcony, I could just see myself latching on, like doing one of those type of moves around the balcony.
It attempts to lift you up and push you off the balcony, but you wrap your arms around, and your legs and your feet go up a bit, and you're kicking it currently, trying to get it off, and eventually you do kick it off, and it.
You know what I'm imagining in my head? It's like one of those wrestler moves. I'm like, I wrapped around my balcony, but my legs are wrapped around it, so it's trying to push up, but it's just like no.
Yeah, like it won't be able to push you without itself falling. So it has to. You kick it off, and you end up like kicking a bit of its jaw, which almost sinks in within the darkness. Like you lose sight of your foot until finally you hit something, you pull away.
It's awful.
We're gonna move into the pseudo initiative. I'm gonna allow all three of you to do something right now at once.
That's
So,
a tough decision.
I will allow you all to discuss and decide.
I'm going with my post-it note.
I know what I want to do. I just don't know how well it's going to turn out.
I mean, if I were awake and I saw this happening, my first instinct would be to attack it. So.
Don't attack it. I'm gonna cast Adjust on it.
Well, I don't know that, so that would be my first instinct.
You're casting what?
Suggest on it.
Suggest. I have to look up the wording for suggest.
It's a creature, not a humanoid. I looked at it before I checked.
Okay. Well, I believe it's still attacking, so maybe we should settle the attack first and then suggest?
Yeah, we'll do that. Really,
Okay.
then you can attack it then.
Sure.
Alright, so attack.
Go for it.
I beat it
Alright.
first, then you gotta suggest it.
23 to hit.
23 hits.
I am set to fire, by the way.
Got it. Tell me how much fire damage you do.
3 points of fire damage and a total of a total of 16 points of damage.
60-point damage. Extra fire damage for that as it starts to light the back. You see Savannah's legs currently kicking and wrapping around, trying to keep herself steady. You strike against the back. You see the flame start to spread across the blackened fur. You have a second attack.
I do. 25 to hit.
25 hits.
Rerolling that one because that was a 1. Okay, that's better. That would be an additional 16 points of damage. This time, 5 of it will be fire.
Got it. It's looking heavily wounded right now as the fire starts to spread even further. You actually create an X. I'll say with that amount of damage in one turn, you've heavily damaged the right wing. It's going to be flying with half speed now.
I mean, if I would have had my rest, I probably could have finished it off. So I'm relying on you guys right now.
We see the scene of it trying to push Savannah, you coming out from the back, and already you start to see this almost green, like dark green ichor start to drip out of the blackness, almost falling from the skin. As it starts to heavily bleed, the wing on its right side is heavily damaged, and Savannah, you are right in its face as it's screaming.
That sounds horrible. See, do I see, like, I obviously, because I'm like holding on to it, see all the damage Rolly just did, right?
Yeah.
Change my mind. We're not gonna cast a spell, we're just gonna attack. So Mage Hand distract it.
Sure.
Roll to attack with Short Sword. That is going to be an 18 to hit.
18 hits.
Where's the thing? Because I'm not pulling out that dice out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I always like
9.
when she rolls in the thing because it's hilarious.
So 5, 10, 16, 19, 9 times it's 25, 30, 36, 37, 38, 39. Roll a bunch of ones. 39 plus 5, that's 44. 44 points of damage.
44.
Indeed.
You specifically, it's actually kind of interesting with Rolly and Savannah being the one doing this. You two are the most exhausted. You got interrupted. You don't feel back to 100%.
Ooh, I didn't add my dex to it. That's 48.
48.
Sorry.
You guys don't feel fully rested, so this is a combination of probably anger, exhaustion, and just...
Adrenaline.
Yeah, it pumps in as this thing immediately freaks you out and starts to attack its closest thing, which was Savannah. Strikes in the back, and then Savannah, you thrust forward, and your sword, or your I think it's a dagger, correct?
Short sword.
Short sword. Strike through. Rolly, you see the tip of the blade pierce through its back from your angle, and as you release, it flops into this little patio entertainment outdoor area.
I just look at Rolly of, we need to grab the body. We need to get sheltered.
Does it have a clear, determined head?
It's one of those things where if you place your hands within where it's like shoulders and neck is, its head actually is lowered, like its shoulders go above its neck. So if you were to follow it and feel where the neck actually is, your hands become lost in darkness. But you can feel it. It's not like you can see it though. Something about the fur absorbs light. But you can feel the head.
I'm gonna take some time cutting it up.
I still say we need to get away from like out being exposed.
I mean, technically, we're in this little tower thingy.
Yeah, you guys are currently in a little outdoor patio area where like maybe a king and queen or ladies and lords would take them, take influential peers or political partners out here to entertain, during outdoor events, just to sort of get an upper look at the party below. There is a door that leads into the second story hallway within Castle Evergrey, within Flint Castle. Yeah, that's what you see. Vera, while this is all going on, you awake from your slumber. You see the fight happening immediately. You hear the scream, the lights. What do you do as everyone else is? I would say in the midst of the fight.
In the midst of the chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, last time I was centered on Godric's, knowing that I can't get there. Because I definitely can't get there, no matter what I do. I'm just gonna send a message to Ironside in a panic and be like, you need to go grab Godric's. He fell. If she gets him, we're gonna have to deal with an undead dragon on our hands. Like, whatever you can do, forget this fight, go get him.
You hear, "Where's the old fool?" You hear a bit of a growl as you hear the roar of a secondary dragon on the opposite side of the fortress.
Oof.
Since you're like on this one side of the fortress, it's basically like it's on the other side of this tower as well. But you mentioned he's falling, right?
Yeah,
he's falling.
I mean, the best thing that Ironside could probably do is just drop down to see if he can catch eyes. So essentially he'll inform you that he doesn't know where he is right now, but he'll look for him.
I mean, we've seen him fall on our side, right?
Yeah, like if you guys were standing on the eastern side of the tower, you saw the eastern horizon. That's where Godric's fell. Ironside's on the west side.
Can I add in those details if I nick some of my
Sure.
words?
Yeah, you could. We can include that.
Okay.
He's gonna do his best to catch a free-falling dragon.
I thought he bamfed. Like he went little. Or no, he's still dragon.
It's been 6 hours.
Okay. We don't know. We just
Also, I would assume that he's a dragon that became a human, so when he would be knocked unconscious, he would bamp into a dragon, thus making this a lot harder.
Yeah. Essentially, Ironside and Godric's turned back into dragons because they had to fly to Flint Castle, and they were taking care of the mass horde of pepper moths. And to spread out the horde, they were taking both sides, opposite sides.
Okay. That's my action.
All right.
Unless like perception check is like a free action after the fact.
What was that?
I said unless like a perception check is like a free action after the fact, like to see
what
if
are you
we
trying to perceive?
Obviously there's a fucking shitball of chaos happening, but like if we alerted anybody else closer to us by killing that moth thing.
Rolling perception check.
Okay. That's something gross. Let's see. 30.
30. That's really high. That's gross.
19 plus 11.
So I think a few things occur to you, Vera.
I mean, she probably woke up and was like...
If Godric's and Ironside were splitting the horde, the half of the horde that was attacking Godric's, which has now completed their goal, you see that that's split in half as well. So 25-25. 25% of that, or the half of that horde, drops down, following the body. The other half is currently retreating to guard the tower. You see a fourth of the horde heading in your direction. With a 30, it's not like they're racing towards your location with intent. More like they are resetting their guard posts, and they will be coming upon the outside of the tower soon.
Okay, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Well,
Those things are circling back. I don't know how fast they fly. I'm pretty sure pretty fast. So let's go.
Can we set the tower on fire?
Let's see, why not? I don't know if they'll go towards it. They seem like, I know that fire did more damage, but they weren't like attracted to light, were they? They were like against.
They're going to be attracted to the tower because the tower is on fire. But if we can destroy some of these undead bodies in the process, I don't think that's a bad idea.
Okay. I don't have actual fire. I have sacred.
I can firebolt something, and I'm pretty sure I have some flint. But the whole thing is we need like an accelerant. Oh wait, I pull out the bottle of 100-year-old wine.
Oh, there you go.
well,
That's just nasty. We should probably do that.
I just uncork it, and then I start heading down the stairways where those bottles are, and just start.
Oh, where the bodies are?
Yes.
Roll me a stealth check.
Please good. Please be good. So that's going to be. I can't do math right now. 23.
23. I'll say with an additional information that Vera has, you guys have about 30 minutes before the horde starts to reconvene on top of the tower and all the numerous roofs that surround the now abandoned and repurposed neighborhood and streets and buildings. You sneak down the tower, down the stairwell, heading to the first floor. It's killing some time. Took about 5 minutes to get down, and I'll include in that 5 minutes your half distance or half speed to sneak in. There are perfect. There are about 40 cases, 40 coffins here. Currently sitting and waiting. The stench of undead coming from the wood, sort of the rotted smell, just almost causing you to gag slightly, but you're able to hold your breath and stealthily get into position.
Is there things like dusty paper, things that are flammable in the room?
This is still outside. You're not even.
No, outside. Okay,
Yeah.
outside. Or is there like hay, paper? What else might be flammable that might be outside? Leaves,
There's plenty
dry
of
leaves.
there's plenty of dead grass here, and I would say that you could probably have brought one of the cushions from the outdoor area with you.
Could we set the dead thing on?
We're gonna try to set the dead thing on fire, but we need. I only got one bottle of 100-year-old wine. Rolly probably has. Do you still have your bottle of 100-year-old whiskey? For 40 coffins, I don't know if that's enough. So.
Is silk rope flammable?
I'm sure.
Okay, I throw that. I put a very long line of 50 feet.
No, just get under the coffin.
Okay, under the coffin.
Or like, yeah.
Well, this is all Savannah doing it, as I don't think anyone else has stealthed their way down there.
No, but I could probably given it to her.
Sure,
Just
yeah.
give it to me, and I'm like trying to stuff dead, dry things under coffins, putting a flint
I
to
have
it.
a question. How are you guys on hit points?
I'm not bad, but I'm not great.
What's not bad and what's not great? I need like actual numbers out of whatever.
110,
Out of what?
130, 36.
Okay. Rolly.
I am good.
Okay, I'll hold for now until we're
So-
shit out of luck.
I didn't say this. The horde is coming to you guys.
I mean,
There is an
take this.
entry. You can enter into the tower one way or the other, or you can find some alternate way if you want to protect yourselves. You can definitely set up a little bit of this trap, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to have you roll a sleight of hand check. this is going to determine how quickly you could set up this little contraption of putting some of the rope, some of the cushions, setting all, dousing everything, making sure everything's soaked enough with the, very old liquor, and lighting everything up.
Can her mage hand help her technically?
By
adding?
It's not like it can't give the help action, but she's pretty good with sleight of hand anyway, so we'll see how this goes.
So I was like, I have some more rope in my explorer's pack and a tinder box.
Going back to the proficiency thing, unless I roll a 1, it's going to be the lowest is going to be a 19. So.
All right.
That's a 16, so that plus 9 equals 25.
25. It takes you 25, 10 minutes. So you're at half your time here. 10 minutes to dart across as many with 50 feet of rope, patches of dry grass, and just enough liquor and liquid within the bottles. You can probably safely cover and affect about 10 coffins.
Per bottle?
No, together.
Together, so that's 10.
And she does have my whiskey, right?
That's
Yeah,
the 10.
I'm keeping that in mind too.
Hope for our best with it, so I'll go ahead and start a torch with the flint and then start just setting them on fire.
Okay. Do you stay there to watch, or what do you do once the?
I was trying to watch this long enough to see it kind of start, but as it starts, I move on because I know I'm short on time.
Roll me another. Roll me another stealth check.
Be good stealth. That was a 19, so that's going to be 28.
Without issue, you flint and steel sparks go off. You start to see a little bit of the ember starting to take just on the doused parts of the grass until finally it starts to take quickly as it reaches the alcohol. As you start to turn and run, you can just hear a bit of screaming, the sound of bones across wood. There are creatures within the box that are being hurt and harmed, but you're able to quickly dash your way out of sight. Are you heading back up towards the party, or is there a new destination?
For now, I'm going to head back to the party because I'm not sure where we're going, so...
Okay. The smoke from this alcohol is so toxic that as Rolly and Vera, as you look over, you just see black clouds coming from it. It's totally obscuring what you can see from the ground. All you can hear is the soft murmur of moans from your location.
I didn't do it.
None of us did it. We say nothing.
Wasn't me.
No, I was trying to read where Beecha told us that back entrance was, like, near here. I don't remember if it was Beecha or the mage. But...
So, Beecha informed you that you're actually at the entrance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
so
works.
the way they described was that there was the front door, which was obviously heavily guarded. There was the greenhouse, which you saw a creature throw a guard out. So guarded as well. There was a break area near the cemetery, which is where Savannah just dashed away from, that led to a second-story balcony, which is where you guys are at, and there's a door to the second story.
I mean...
So you're literally, like, Vera and Rolly could literally turn 180 and see the door.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess maybe check the door for traps. I think...
I love you guys trying to check for traps.
No, you! Not us.
I was just getting back to you, so...
Sav, can you check the door for traps?
I'll use the mage hand to try to check for traps.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check. You guys are about 20 minutes in. You got 10 minutes. I'll say at the 5-minute mark, they're going to start making perception checks to see if they see you.
Amber has a question.
19.
Real quick.
The door is locked, but not trapped.
Figures. Are we going?
Ask your questions as I try to pick this
No.
lock.
Well, Amber wants to know: is our goal to go to the sacrifice chamber to save people, or are we gonna go queen bitch on this?
We'll see what we hit first.
Well, her suspected bedroom is either on the 4th or 5th floor. We don't know where the sacrifice chamber is.
Well, I mean, to be fair, do we know where the hostages are being held?
The sacrifice
That's
chamber.
the sacrifice chamber. And I would think that most of us have somebody in there we would like to get out, but I don't know.
You know, I kind of like hitting that sacrificial chamber, honestly.
Okay, I just
Roll me
want to make
stealth
sure
checks, everyone.
we're all on the same page.
I'm gonna start rolling perception.
Vera
Wait,
just
okay.
takes off.
Time frame.
I think that's one of the few times I've rolled that high on stealth, but it's not that high.
25.
Mm-hmm.
14.
Not great. That would be an 8.
You hear the echoes of screams and growls as some of the horde has currently starting to attach itself to numerous roofs far in the distance, where all the like buildings and banks and old shops and residential spaces. There is a good group of about 15 being led by one of them that has caught eyes of movement happening in the balcony. You got a limited time.
Okay, down the door, lock the door.
Deuces!
Sleight of hand.
Can I give her guidance? Doesn't matter. We're up here by ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
See. With the guidance, that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Just enough for the DC. This
Woo!
door opens. These things screaming, almost 15 echo in a chorus.
Just locked behind us.
Look,
Enter in.
there's nothing we can do to like bar the door, right? Like in here.
I'm like, what's around
Oh,
us?
good question. Well, around you,
we have
entering
expertise
in
in
this
this. That's how we got all those guards killed.
there is, it's one of those handles that is like, it jettisons out and it almost like, so you grip it sideways to pull it down. There is an unlit, like standing torch, like about 5 feet tall, leading into like almost like a mini brazier, that you could probably, it's metal, you could probably put it against the handle to lock it.
Rolly, would you like to use your strength?
Vera, I would love to.
No roll necessary, easily enough to jam it in, and
I think
I
the
would say-
7-foot barbarian can do that.
I would hope so.
I would hope so.
after you've done so, Rolly, and feeling fairly confident, 3 long seconds go by until you hear. It's an old, heavy wooden door. It's keeping them out for now.
Should have break the freaking door handle off with the axe.
About that.
I'd be like, fuck you, but I think that's a bad idea.
You turn around and you find yourself in almost like you're in a second-story indoor balcony, like where you can see over and you can see into a grand hall below, where people would walk in to head into different areas within the castle. Within this balcony, this sort of second-story balcony, it circles around, leading to a stairwell that heads down to the first floor. You're all aware that everything is upstairs, but there is an opportunity to go downstairs if you wish. There is a door to the south. There is a door to west that is labeled, that's called relaxation room. There's a door to the north. So you guys came in from the east. So there's the door to the north that leads into labeled like these giant double red doors that are labeled library.
Why do I feel like
my curiosity is getting the worst of me about this relaxation room. I know this is not the time or place.
I don't feel like she'd be nice enough to label a break room for them, so I'm like, is that like the sacrifice chamber and it's called the relaxation?
The relaxation chamber.
Is there? There's an actual door in the relaxation station room, right?
Yeah, so you see almost like a glossy black door. It feels heavy, like when you press against it, it feels heavy. Roll me perception, Savannah.
I give guidance.
Okay. I'm assuming everyone sort of has walked around this balcony space to get to the west side.
With the guidance, that's a 19.
19. You can hear a bit of laughter and talking, muffled.
Oh shit,
Coming
an
from
actual
beyond the
realization.
Curiosity changed because people are talking. I'm like, there's people in there, so maybe not.
Can we try and listen in to see what they're saying?
Closer in the
Yeah.
door.
I'll say because of that roll, that's what you can hear muffles. And they're very it's very soft. So if they're in the room, they're probably further back.
Hey, second thought. Maybe we should take a torch and block this door if there's a handle.
I mean, I definitely like the idea, but also keeping in mind that doesn't sound very OSHA-like.
That's not my problem. This is her building. I'm not responsible
I mean,
for
are
the
we
damages.
OSHA? Do we care about workers' rights at this exact moment?
Yes, that's important.
OSHA exists in this world, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, Taco Bell and OSHA.
I mean, I think OSHA's gonna have a bigger problem with the issue outside with the
Yeah.
toxic fumes than us locking some people in a relaxation
Oh,
room.
And the
you know,
dead
actually,
body.
something I forgot you would have heard also, Savannah. This is actually a little louder than the voices. You can hear soft ringing, like if someone got one of those Zen bells and was circling it around, like Zen
Oh, great,
music.
a sound bath as well, so it's fun there.
That sounds like some bullshit. Now I really want to know what's in there.
Okay, is there another torch anywhere near
Yeah,
us?
there's a torch.
Rolly, go get the torch.
I am on my break, ma'am. I'm sorry.
The only problem with this door is that it is a heavy glossy door that doesn't have that etch handle.
What kind of handle does it have?
Normal circular twist handle.
I have a
Okay,
fish
break
hook. Will
the
that help?
handle.
Wouldn't that just open the door?
Yes.
I mean, I can, I guess. I just hope nobody actually looks at the door.
I was like, if we break the handle up, it's just gonna open.
I mean, sometimes you break the handle, you can't open the door.
Why would
Never
there be a
mind.
lock on the relaxation room? I mean, this bitch is twisted, so there could be.
No, I'm just gonna softly twist the handle to pop open the door to see if I can look in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Um,
See if nobody we actually like is in there.
I'm actually not gonna have you roll because there's a few reasons for that. You slowly pop open the door, and almost like a Scooby-Doo, we just see 3 pairs of eyes as both Vera, Rolly, and Savannah look through.
3 little cats.
Yes. You look in. It is light wooden floors that go off for a few feet. There are several small side tables that are surrounding the outer edge of this room that have candles lit, almost like red tinted candles that give off both a red and a yellow glow to give everything sort of a nice warm feel. There is a circle in the middle of this room with sand, and there is an arcane rake that is currently making circles, and there's numerous pillows on the floor, sort of like this tan pillows with spa rocks that are giving off a soft heat coming out. There's more to the room, but you'd have to enter further to see what else there is, because you can, as you open the door, you can hear sort of laughter from 2 male voices. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 2 male voices.
Still in that mage's robe, aren't I?
Technically,
Technically.
you did take the crap. Technically, we all took something.
I know.
We're all disguised. I'm gonna go get Bebe.
Oh, he's
Don't
wet?
kill us.
Should
I'm trying to think if it's worth it to try to walk in there just to see who these people are, but
Should we take a break? Okay. No, she's voting yes. She
No?
can still hear you guys, by the way.
No, so she told me no?
She told you go.
Oh, to go?
Yeah.
Rolly?
I mean, why not? It's not the worst idea we've ever had, right?
That's saying a lot.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're still within your garb. You haven't changed out.
Yeah, that's the same. Like, if I'm still in the garb, I might be able to pull this off. So I'll walk into the room.
You walk into the room. There are numerous potted plants around the area as well. As you further walk in and the room actually opens up, you can see off to the left-hand side there is a metal, like some sort of like instrumental device, like sort of like what you would tap a drum with. I wouldn't call it a stick because it's too large, and it's currently circling a metal dome that's just going.
Like a singing bowl?
Yeah, a singing bowl. Exactly. I never knew what the name of that thing was. And it's just causing this sort of nice zen feeling. You walk further in, you can hear a little bit more of the laughter. And there are 2 glass rooms, so you can peer inside of them. One on the far like north right of the side, like northeast of the room, and one of the northwest of the room. Both of them, you can see there's like a hot aura coming from it, sort of a redden tint, as 2 tabaxi gentlemen are currently have their armor and weapons set outside, and they're sitting inside of this space with towels over themselves as they are currently dripping with sweat. So there are essentially 2 saunas, one to the right and one to the left. A few things happen as you catch this glance. Both of you roll me perception checks.
It's gonna be 18.
18.
That is gonna be really, really low. That's like a 7.
7. What's up?
Anybody we care about?
No, but you found saunas.
Having a good old time while the world's in it.
I'll say with your past perception, Vera, you'd probably see this. Coming from upstairs, or from downstairs going upstairs, from the first floor, is a small teal skittering creature. As it looks around with its large singular eye. So like this is like as you guys begin to walk in, Rolly making that connection so quickly, even with your low roll, it's Beecha, who remembered you guys saying you were going to the tower.
Buddy, is that you?
He's still making his way up, but you say that softly, and he catches eyes with you from the outdoor and goes, and is making his way up the stairs. 2 things happen. That happens, and you hear, "Fuck that! If I'm gonna be set free, I'm gonna do it in style. Naked, sitting and stand, sweating our asses off. Don't be a downer. People pay good money for this experience. Besides, I don't think the queen will be using this with, anytime soon." But the sort of gives emotion as those further in, both Vera and Savannah see this. Oh, right, the whole skin thing. Yeah.
The whole undead thing.
Can liches even sweat? And there's sort of a banter and talk. But Rolly finally, Beecha makes it up way. Goes, hey. Beeches make his way towards the place that friends went to.
Isn't he supposed to be freaking hiding?
Yeah, I told you to hide.
I was worried about friends first time.
Aw.
You have to hide. It's not safe.
What level is the sacrifice, Jim?
I don't.
Like, but I was saying, like, do you know your way in through the south tower?
It's been some time, but south door leads to the 3rd floor. But Queen kind of looks into the room. Queen used to use this room often. This is where Queen would often trick victims to giving up life essence.
So it was a relaxation.
Bicha starts to explain that both of those those sauna spaces are actually connected, and the sacrifice of one would rejuvenate the other.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Let's just back on out of here.
So essentially, like, if you were to go into one, if they didn't see you, there's something in there that would sacrifice them to rejuvenate you. But it could also do vice versa if they see you.
So should we get those guys out of there, or should we just walk out of here?
That's their problem. They want to be freed. Let's go let them be freed, and let's lock the door.
You get a sense that, well, sort of, you have sort of base insight. It doesn't look like they realize that's what this place is for.
They do or they
Like,
don't?
They
don't.
think
Yeah.
it's just a spa. I'm assuming.
I mean,
Yeah, those fools.
listen, if we tell them what it is, they're probably still going to shoot us. So my vote is to lock them in.
Honestly, and looking at the way we're all dressed, if they saw us, minus you, Vera, and your famous uniform, they probably just think we're here to use the facilities.
Technically, I'm wearing the snake guy's uniform.
Oh, right. Never mind. I'm like, they probably think we're here to use the facilities, so...
I'm in for locking them in and dealing with one less problem, quite frankly.
I like that.
I mean, the thing we said to do the first time? I just look at Rolly.
You didn't say anything except that you wanted to go in there.
I just wanted to make sure there was nobody we actually liked in there. Turns out there isn't. And they're too dumb to realize what this is.
Question, are we taking Bicha with us, though?
Well, we have to
I
at
think
this
we
point.
have to if we leave them here. You run out of snacks.
Go ahead and decide what you'd like to do.
Let's walk out, or we lock the door. Or block the door, block them in, and then go from there.
Hold on, let me close the kitchen gate.
Out of pure curiosity, how far am I from their weapons?
From their weapons?
Yeah.
You walked in a little bit. You're about 10 feet away from their weapons.
I'm assuming if I'm thinking like a sauna, it's really, really hazy and
There's like,
steam.
yeah, there's like sweat down their brow. They have to constantly wipe it down. You can see their backs. They're currently sitting their backs to you.
Take their weapons and jam the door.
Well, I was gonna take their weapons, but that's an option too.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, Bicha sort of informs you, like, Queen would trick political friends and potential partners to sit in one end. She would sit in the other, and she would rejuvenate at their sacrifice.
I mean, us knowing her, we thought that relaxation room was a little weird, considering.
But now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
As Mike throws a whole bag of
Don't worry about it.
across the way. Yeah, my vote.
I think we're just gonna walk out.
Okay. You walk out.
With or without the weapons?
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna hold my rolls until I actually need them.
Okay.
So just so that I'm kind of clear on this and not hazy. So she uses this chamber to essentially take the life essences of others who are quote unquote relaxing.
So yeah,
So-
you get sort of the impression that this one of the chambers can be used to rejuvenate oneself. So like let's say Vera or Savannah or any one of you to walk into one of the chambers. There is some sort of device in there that would sap the life force from the opposite chamber and rejuvenate you.
And we can see both of those chambers or just one?
Yeah, they're both glass chambers. So I'll try to paint the picture a little better. You are currently in the Zen area, and both ends of the room far in the corner are 2 glass rooms, both of them saunas. Essentially, if you walk into one or the other, they would either sap each other's energy and you just have to flip the switch. That's if you knew it was there.
True. I have an idea.
I think I know where this is going, and I don't like it.
I don't either, but I think it's the best thing to solving a problem.
That's just
I know y'all say like Savannah has questionable morals, but that would make us no better than her. Don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's either we deal with them now or we deal with them later. Why not deal with them now and then
deal with them at all? We're gonna lock the door.
And you think they're gonna stay locked in forever?
No, but long enough where they're not our problem.
Or
Rolly, do we even know how it works? We have an idea of what it does. We don't know how to get it going.
I mean, I'm sure there's bound to be something around here that makes this work.
I feel like if we just lock them in there, we bypass the whole thing. If we screw up the latch, it's one of us. If we make a noise, now they're alerted to us with their weapons. And now we gotta deal with that crap.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate for a moment. We lock them in here. We be on our way. Fast forward to when we're fighting you know who. And she escapes us. Comes in here. Sees that there are already people in there. Rejuvenates herself. We could stop that now. If we take this from her.
No, we wouldn't.
Wow, that's a wild... Thank you, Rolly.
A huge assumption. And now we realize we're giving the
We gave it to the
idea.
It's not. He'll come up with them at some point.
Eventually, I'm that evil.
Yeah.
Okay, Rolly. What if you do that? That makes you know better than her.
Pretty much.
I mean, am I targeting innocent civilians who did nothing wrong just based off of their profession? Or am I trying to get rid of people aligned with an evil, nefarious lich intent on world domination?
You said they were tabaxis, right?
There are two I think it's Striped Leg clan members in there.
I think you're trying
No,
to...
Rolly, you're taking advantage of two people who fully believe in their religion and they're gonna do for their religion. That is the exact same thing she is doing.
Not a religion, a cult.
I think what she is doing and what we would be doing is taking advantage of their naivety about this situation because they just follow her because she sold them a very good story and they believed it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Yes, I hear you, but we are their enemies. They will not take kindly to us. If they find us, they will do everything in their power to stop us, including killing us if able to. So yes, we can leave them here and hope to not have to deal with them anymore, or we can help each other in our goal
Vera's
to defeat the queen.
You know, need a strength point. Me and Vera just started with the thing.
We're just
We don't need.
No.
There is not a lock to the relaxation room.
Hold on. I got some
that's
more
right.
rope.
There we go. Give me the rope. I used my ship tying, not tying skill that I have gained to tie this door somehow to make it lock.
I think you would need to explain to me how you would lock
Hold
a
on.
handle with rope. Because me personally, I'm having a hard time picturing it.
Okay. Weird thing. I know when you knock a doorknob off, there's that hinge in there.
Yeah.
If we did that and stuck something in there, would it stay locked?
I mean, you'd have to break the handle first.
I have a fish hook.
You're what?
I said I have
Yeah,
a fish hook.
That'd be something to
Okay.
jam into the lodge, or the little thing.
Oh, I see. From the outdoor.
That way
Um,
the
Does
I
it
don't
have
know
a
the parts
lock,
of the
or is
door.
it
That
just-
way
just a
that
handle?
Doesn't
the
have a
thing
lock.
can't move. Well, because you know the mechanics of the door, it has the thing that goes in the door that actually holds it closed and locks. If we break off the handle and put like the hook in the little hole thing to keep the thing from sliding, that would essentially lock it.
Sure.
I'm gonna go with the thief on this one, and she knows what she's doing. I'm just helping.
If the DM buys it, I'll go with it.
I will allow a roll. Feel free to do a sleight of hand.
Oh, I still have to. Wouldn't this still be strength? Because the main component is we gotta break it, but fine.
Oh, you're trying to break it?
Because we have to break it to make it stick.
Or we could just try and hook it in there. And not be quiet about it.
This is getting very complicated.
Okay.
All of a
so
sudden, my
the
solution's starting to
beginning,
sound good.
You break the handle, and if you break the handle, either one of two ways it's going to break. I don't know if you can still hear me.
I don't think so.
Oh, wait. I see the
Caleb was trying to get in the litter box.
I heard, like, if we break the handle. I got that far.
If we break the handle, it's one of two ways it's going to break. It's either going to break half of the handle, where the slidey thing is still in the door holding it closed,
Roll me,
and the other side is not broken,
Roll me a
or the whole thing would come
roll
off.
me a strength check with disadvantage.
I can't help.
I didn't want to...
Yeah, all right, then you can help with the straight roll then.
Or it could be me, but I mean, I don't mind. if
Maybe
you want
rolling
me to
because
break
I have
it.
no strain.
This is
Rolly
this
roll.
is I mean
This is
this
us.
is you guys implementing the plan. I'll say.
I mean, I can do it. I can try breaking it.
There you go, Vera.
Okay,
It's a strength.
straight roll.
Okay. I was like, what is my strength? Let's see. You want to come below my dice? Get out of the cat box. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought that was 16. It's not 16. 19 plus 3, 22.
22.
Built up anger, resentment.
Built up anger.
Now he's gonna chase the cat.
Sure. Yeah. You reel back with your weapon. Strike down. The sound of the collision between weapon and metal handle, it rings out. The two tabaxi are currently in the spot. Whip around
Too
quickly.
bad we couldn't. Their switch wasn't on the outside.
I gotta be honest, both of them jump up to their feet. Towels fall down.
I mean, we're on the other side of the door, so we didn't see it.
Oh, you're on the opposite. Okay, so you're outside doing
Yeah.
this.
Be careful, Hud. Don't roll back. He's behind your chair.
That happens then, from your point of view.
Okay. Well then, lock it.
Give
Put
me the
the
fish hook. I stick the fish hook in the little mechanic to keep the little latch from moving.
Using all
Okay.
my random shit in the game.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Roll me a sleight of hand check, and I'm gonna look up these guys real quick.
That's gonna be a 19.
19. You get it fairly stuck. I would like, who's standing in? So this would be like Vera and Savannah standing at the door. Rolly, where are you at?
Since they decided to go ahead and do this without me, I would say that I would be just kind of behind them, watching to see what they do. Still thinking that talking to each other, still thinking my idea was probably the better one.
I would like Vera and Savannah roll me deck saves.
No fun. Okay, roll high. Okay, I think I'm not bubble dice. Let me see.
23.
23?
Oh, I thought you said 33. I was like, shit.
No.
16.
16?
Yeah.
You hear from the opposite end. Attempt of twisting the handle, not making successful, and then you hear. Impacts until finally you hear, or you actually see a bit of smoke coming from one end, from like through the crevices and the creases, and the door is thrusted forward
Shit.
as the last thing you guys see as the door is starting to fall and rocket towards your face is one of them not grabbing a blade, but grabbing a book. As a mage has telekinetically shoved the door off its hinges, and Savannah, you get half damage. Vera, you get full.
Lovely. Sorry, I'm watching this kid not destroy something. What are you
See him
doing?
climbing somewhere.
He's climbing after the cat, but there's a bunch of stuff on the couch.
I need more dice because this is. I told you this is a big, glossy, heavy door. Yeah, that should be good.
And he's going for the magic mint. That ain't yours, dude.
So, Savannah, you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Vera,
mine
you
now.
take
Ow.
20.
Okay.
As it... The second guy grabs a dagger and throws it.
I'm just gonna imagine that's gonna hit the door.
It's landed down. Like, Savannah, you had to dodge out of the way. Get out of the way. He's still naked.
Well, you could hit him somewhere where he doesn't want to be hit.
It's gonna be a 24 to hit.
That's just me.
For me,
You
yes.
take 6 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make me a. Oh no, nope, that doesn't affect you. That one doesn't happen. Sounds good.
I'm gonna say, don't goddamn poison daggers.
No,
don't
they're not
tell
the
me.
ones with poisons. But yeah, that just occurs. Let's do another of the pseudo initiative. So all of you roll initiative. Lowest initiative count goes.
I feel like there was like, we're gonna hit the lever. Initiative.
Oh.
We don't hit the lever. Initiative. Oh, 17.
What do you mean? You didn't go into.
No, I know, but I'm just like, we were not gonna be quiet. We...
You had disguises.
Y'all gonna hate me. That's a 6.
I rolled a nat 20, so
Okay.
feels bad.
Feels bad.
17.
17. We're taking the 6. The mage. Now you see sort of arcane energy releasing from his eyes. Still nude.
Do we laugh?
Do you want to laugh?
I'm asking you, should we?
Oh, you're asking me?
No, let's roll for that laugh.
Perception check?
Nah. Meh.
Okay.
There's nothing special.
26.
I'm not asking to roll it. It's clear view.
Nah.
is
That's
a
my
naked man.
It's
response.
clear view.
It is a naked man. Meh.
He grips the bindings of the book hard as you point and stare. And he's in the cast Scorching Ray. So I think at the person who said meh. Okay, that's a plus. Where is my mage? There you are. 26 to hit.
Hits.
25 to hit.
Also hits.
And 22 to hit.
Also hits. Fun times.
Dear.
A combination of 23 points of fire damage as 3 bolts strike outwards and the one, it lost its dagger and all it took with it. It's going to rush towards you, Savannah, and attempt to pull the dagger out and stab back down.
Boy, what are you doing?
That's going to be, I'm rolling, as opposed to last time, I'm rolling really well. 25 to hit.
Ouch.
Oh, I'm rolling so well.
Quick, Caleb, blow on test.
That's
I know.
16 points of piercing damage. Just like puts it back in and starts to twist. Oh,
I already used reaction, so yeah.
And as both of those attacks happen, you guys now have your initiative.
Who was first?
So I might be first because I hit a 22.
Yeah, you're.
You can all choose who goes first and who goes last.
Rolly could go first.
Go first, Rolly.
Caleb.
Okay, time to do my thing. First and foremost, I'm gonna rage.
All right, you start to rage.
Oh, we don't have attack on the map, do we?
No, this is non-map.
Theater of the Mind.
Okay.
Theater of the Mind. They are
of course.
standing above, in the entranceway of the relaxation room. You guys are in this sort of second-story balcony indoor area with railings and like old suits of armor and candelabras and side tables and torches. And there is a heavy, glossy, now you can see marble door that has fallen, barely crushing a little bit of Spanish. She rolls out of the way and fully on top of Vera. She's got like half body in, half body out.
Good, thanks. I'm married.
Let's see. I'm gonna go and attack the guy with the book. I think he'd be a more prime target.
Okay.
No.
These guys have even less AC due to their predicament. So we'll see.
Great. So rage, move to guy.
Also, go ahead and move that closer if you can.
Sorry.
No worries.
Let's go ahead and also reckless attack because I'm gonna try to finish this quickly.
Perfect.
Uh, 26 to hit. I'm pretty sure that connects.
Oh yeah. With a mage, anything higher than 11. Not a very high AC.
There we go. Rerolled because I hit a 1. I'm gonna deal 23 points of damage total. 3 of it is fire.
How much?
23 points of damage. 3 of it is fire.
Immediately, you bring this guy down to his knees. He's still breathing. He's currently clutching the side of his chest as just blood is dripping down to his entire body.
Oh, need him to roll a strength save.
Oh.
Oh.
No. That's going to be a 6.
So Theater of the Mind, what is their positioning in terms of like distance, like spatial positioning? Who's like, so the mage is the first. How close is the mage to the rest of the dudes?
They are literally standing in the entryway. So essentially, if you were to run up to them and hit them, they would fall back into the relaxation room. I think due to 10 feet, the way that you can actually kick them into the sand.
I'll do that.
Yeah, you flies 10 feet back, collides into the Zen garden. The little magical rake that is making circles is knocked out and is no longer enchanted. And he lands on his, like, tabaxi agility lands on his feet, but is tumbling and finally gets his bearings.
So if I were to take his previous space, would I be immediately next to another bad guy?
No, because the other one is on top of Savannah.
You mean me?
Oh, sorry. No, on top of Savannah.
Oh, I thought it
He
was
stabbed
me.
me with the dagger.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I'd like to use. I guess if I took his space and then used the rest of my movement, could I hit the one next to Savannah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So I'll take the movement and then I'll move to the guy that's on top of Savannah, and I'm gonna go ahead and attack him as well. That'll be a 28 to hit, man.
28. Yeah, that
Ooh.
definitely hits. This is the one on top of Savannah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'll be 6, 11, 12, 13, 15. 18 points of damage. 3 of it is fire.
Okay. And he has to like place a hand on next to Savannah's head, just like where she's on the ground, to stop himself from like fully crumbling down. He's still alive, breathing, bleeding heavily.
With that, I have nothing else. I will end my turn.
Okay. Who else would like to take reins?
Okay, since Vera's not there, I go ahead and take because literally the attack, and I'm gonna return the favor and stab him in the side with my sword. Be good. Yeah, that's not as good as I wanted. A 16?
16? 16 hits. Because Rolly is also attacking the same guy, you would have advantage. Or not advantage, you would have sneak attack.
In that case,
It is not advantage because you just sacrifice your.
I just want to point it out whether, regardless of who it is, if we try to save any one of these idiots, we always end up having to kill them. Doesn't matter.
So, 2, 5, 11, 16, 19, 20, 21, 21 plus that, 27. I lost count of where I was counting. Wait.
27 is way above his remaining HP pool anyways. It mirrors very much what you two just did with the peppered moth as Rolly strikes the back of one of them over Savannah. It's 1-to-1. Oddly, it's becoming almost like a planned move at this point. Except as you release your short sword and pulling it away and the guy falls to his death off to the side, you're heavily bleeding right now, Savannah.
I can imagine. Thank you for saying he fell to the side and not on me.
Oh, yeah. No, he's... and you push him to the side.
Stark naked.
Wang out.
Oh God.
What a way to die. Slightly funny.
I do take his dagger, though.
Oh yeah, you should loot them.
I mean, they're naked. I could take the book
You could
and
take
dagger.
their other stuff.
Matter of fact, yeah, because the way I look right now, I'm gonna need help. I'm gonna go back in the garden.
Well, there's still one
Boss
guy still
for the-
alive. So,
Oh,
Oh.
never mind.
yeah, the mage is still alive. That's the one that Rolly kicked into the Zen garden.
In that case, I'm gonna take his dagger and then try to get up.
Okay, take the dagger, get up. Vera, what are you doing?
The mage got his book taken, right?
No, mage has been kicked into the Zen
Okay.
garden. He's currently in the relaxation room.
I see. So I have a question. Does Toll the Dead actually make a bell sound?
Yeah.
Okay, let's not do that one. I haven't used it in a while. Well, you know what?
It kind of, you would imagine it would mix together with the singing bowl in here.
Sounds
True.
like church gongs.
Sounds like encouragement. I will use Toll
It has to make a save, correct?
yes, a wisdom save.
That's going to be a 14.
That's gonna be a fail. And he has taken damage from rolling, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, heavily damaged.
There. That's gonna be 4d12.
Yeesh.
Oh, no.
Oh yes.
It's your own fault. Oh, dang. That's very good. Okay, that one wasn't that great. 19, 27, 32.
It almost sounds like the singing bowl is intensified greatly to a point where it's ringing so loudly that some of the glass starts to crack a little bit. It doesn't like shatter. There's just small cracks happening where like the sauna spaces are as steam starts to emit from it. And this guy clutches his ears. His veins start to pop and push against the skin. You can see beyond the fur that it's starting to really stress until he finally collapses dead.
Why can't like one of them ever go quietly? Like none of them. Not one.
Alright.
Nope.
Now I'll go into the spa to take weapons and see if I can find anything else.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
cast guidance for investigation.
go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
That is going to be 23 plus guidance. Make as high as I can. 24.
24. You find a meek-looking spell book that the mage is holding. You get a sense that the one that you took earlier probably holds the same spells, probably more. So this one's kind of maybe good for selling, maybe in the future. Who knows? There is no gold on these guys. Nor is there any sort of keys. It looks like almost like they walked in through approval, had their rounds, and decided to trottle off to the relaxation space. On the actual member, you find obviously the dagger that you just took, and you see what looks to be a short sword, regular.
Does anyone else notice that like her whole troop really likes to slack off? Maybe this is her whole problem.
I mean, what do they say about bad management?
Half of them are drunk in the tavern. There's these two idiots, and everyone that we've somewhat talked to is like, yeah, those are like the secret hideouts to avoid work. So, I just like to point it out.
I'm going to take this time to use one of the greater healing potions.
I'm gonna take the time to tell my party I told you so.
Fine. You get a brownie point.
Woohoo!
Would you like to put the door back, please, to make it look like it's closed?
I mean, DM, is the door even salvageable? Is it still good? Did it
just go
break?
flying off?
The only reason I didn't break is because it landed on a Vera.
Thanks. I cushioned its
Good job,
fall,
Vera.
Rolly. We can still use the
Nice.
door.
And it wouldn't take you too long, really. It wouldn't like snap back. That's the problem. Is the hinges are gone. It's just
No.
it
It wouldn't, but
precariously standing upwards.
who knows? Maybe somebody will go investigate in there and it'll follow them. Uh-oh.
Confirming the greater is like 4d4 plus 4?
44 for spore. Yeah, greater.
Alright.
Way to pull the heartstrings, Caleb. Let me get.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 plus 4, 13. Alright. It's better than before.
Okay. Healing potion is had. I think as you walk in, finally, as the fight has subsided, Beecha sort of curves around one of the edges, hiding within, goes, "His fight over?"
It's over.
Good. Kind of peers out of the door. Queen would sometimes make their way towards south door to head to third floor, but she spends most of her time in library. She does a lot of looking.
Book?
You knocked my headphone out.
She says she looks for people in there.
That checks out.
Yeah, I mean, didn't she try to snatch you from a library? Rolly.
I don't like it. But I do remember this. Thanks for bringing back that past trauma. I will then reiterate once again, I told you so.
Maybe we could use it to see her or where the sacrifice chamber is, unless Beecha knows where it is.
I do not remember which floor. It's been quite some time since I've been in here. I was only lucky to make it to here, past the front guards, as most of them are chasing a large winged dragon.
Oh yeah.
That is indeed a thing that is happening right now.
We could try and use it. I don't know if it's gonna backfire on us, but I mean, we could try.
I don't like. I'm less inclined on doing this because I don't want to give her even the slightest chance of being able to discover us.
Do you want me to try and scry again?
No.
That's
No,
that's
I didn't
exactly
scry,
the opposite.
I didn't scry on her. When I was looking at who she took, I would scry on them, and that's how I got to see what had happened to them. So maybe.
But I think the only thing we figured out is they're in a room, right? At least the only thing that would probably tell us if they're fine at this moment.
I mean, we could give it a shot. I guess.
Could
And the other thing I could think of is have Beecha run out to light one of the beacons, get them away from here.
Beecha could do this.
What happens if we light the beacon, Beecha? Because we don't know actually.
If I light beacon, if beacon is lit, many of moth creatures rush towards area.
What area?
Wherever beacons is lit. If I light it far away, they would travel far.
Maybe that.
I can do this.
Ah,
I can do this.
I like this.
And you see him almost like pumping himself up. There's a little more confidence here meeting found friends, and there's a bit of a new energy. He looks around, reaches towards one of the metal torches and takes it off, sort of grabbing it, almost drags on the floor.
Wait, Richa, you're gonna light the beacon,
Uh,
and then you need to get out of there as soon as you can.
I shall. I could hide. I will hide.
Okay.
Good luck, friends.
Thank you. Truly.
Come back, please. And he grabs the torch and sort of does that thing where he'll run off for a few feet, turn a 180 to look at you guys, and there's a sense of worry, but confidence, almost like, please. Okay, and rushes downstairs to head towards one of the far ends to light a beacon.
Okay, I think we need to take a baby break.
Daybreak?
Yeah.
All right, we will be right back.
Boop.
And we're back. So you guys are currently standing on the second story balcony as Bicha currently makes his way out of view, heading outside, and there's some discussion about scrying, or what's the next location.
I mean, do we want to use that library with that little nugget of information, or do you still just want me to do it? I don't care either way.
Probably go into the library just to see what's there, and then go from there.
Maybe Felix check it for traps, because yay, if that's her room, it's probably traps.
That is a good point. I'll summon Felix to check for traps.
Sure. We can say that you get close to the door, the large double dark red wooden door that leads into the library as you release the spores, going underneath the cracks and further in, pulling it all in, all that information that he found. What is the range of Felix? Because I also have to think of like top and down now.
I don't know if we ever actually discussed it. I want to say we said 120, but I'm not sure if that's right.
I
I
believe
thought it was
might
doubled.
be. It could be 120. Let's see. I think it's detect traps or find traps. Find traps. There it is. It is 120 feet. Yeah. There are plenty of traps on the first floor that you guys avoided by going through the back way. There are also, let's see, let me look at my map here. From where you're standing, 120 feet, a room above you, there is a arcane switch that is meant to open something. And it's all like I'll tell you if you ever get to the third floor, but there are several arcane switches and traps on the third floor, not on the second.
Oh,
And to get to the third floor, we have to go through that door. Did I remember that right?
The libraries to the north, there is this almost like the pathway to go to the third floor is to the south.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the only thing, let me see what does it tell you? Let's see. Learning about spells that I don't use very often. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you sense anything further beyond that.
So from what I gathered from what I got from Felix is second floor, not trap, but third and first are definitely.
third and
At least within your 120
At least
range.
within that scope.
So should we not go to the library?
I think we can at least go in, but if we expand outwards, it might be dangerous.
Well, I want to go check it out then, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe
Doors
just nobody
open.
touch anything.
What was that?
I said maybe just nobody touch anything.
You open the double doors and you are met with a beautiful library. rows and rows of books, and the shelves are not fully perpendicular. It's like some of them arch outward, some of them curve around different areas. Most of the edgings have like these intricate glass, like almost like lamps that have like designs and patterns and give the entire space a nice, beautiful glow. There are just glass illuminated objects and bulbs that sit upon tables. There is a beautiful chandelier far in the back of this library, and there are like pots of plants here that give the place a nice, beautiful scent and sight. The library is large. You can see from your current vantage point that there are several rows you can go by, and you can even go further down. Some or most of what's being kept here is labeled. Like there's architecture, there is stories, there is biographies, there is history, there's it is an old, beautiful library.
I wonder if there's anything on the Dreamer in here.
What was that?
I said I wonder if there's anything on the Dreamer in here.
I'm almost certain there is. It's just in all this vastness.
I'm wondering, is your mic, the top mic, facing your mouth, Amber?
Better?
It's gotta be facing you.
It is facing me.
No, not the side, the top. There you go. Perfect. That's where it's coming out of.
Blame the baby. He messed with it.
No worries.
I know about like all those bites.
No worries.
Is there like a desk space or centralized like working area in this space?
There is a central desk that is in between two large bookshelves that go on curving to different parts of the library. But it's not like what we would expect to be like a public library. It's not like there's a check-in desk. This is someone's personal private library. So it's not like you have to check in. It's just you walk around and find what you want.
I'm gonna walk towards that centralized like main person's desk.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check. And while you're doing that, what is everyone else doing?
I think I'm just going to take my lantern out to see if there's any illusionary things in here.
Okay. You're just gonna roam
21.
around? 21. Okay, 21.
I'm staying behind Sav. I don't want to get too far and then like some crap happens.
Rolly, what are you doing?
I'm going to be investigating. I've already rolled, and it is not a great.
What'd you roll?
It is a 6.
6. And you're just investigating, right? Okay.
I'm just seeing if there's anything out of. I'm not looking for anything in particular. Mostly looking for like something that would stand out or something that would pique my interest.
I say one thing does stand out very well, even with that low roll, because it's very hard to miss. As you start to almost get lost in the maze of books, eventually there's a point where you're like, "Where am I?" And you almost have to backtrack and go, "Okay, you're keeping track of where you're at." So the library's large, not that large where I would consider it a maze, but you do break eyesight of your friends curving around sort of the very north of the library, and you see what looks to be a fountain. And it is a water fountain that has 4 statues on it. 4 of them different figures, different poses, and different clothing. I'll say that it doesn't fully get your attention. Like, it doesn't like warrant anything further of your investigation since your roll was fairly low. Savannah with a 21 as you start to investigate. Oh, I'll go to Vera who rolled her using her lantern. Nothing in this area strikes you as illusionary.
Okay.
However, for you, Savannah, you find papers strewn about. It's a collection of civil engineering, city structure, and infrastructure, and finally a lot of room construction, like blueprints. Until finally something catches your eye with a 21. You run across a blueprint of the library that you're standing in. And you get sort of this full scope of how large it is.
Of that, is there anything of unusualness, like, this says there's a room here, but that there's no room here, or anything like that?
I mean, you just entered it and went to the first desk. You don't know yet. I'll say that Rolly finally finds his way back to you guys.
Real quick, you said that I found statues, but anything particular about the statues? Anybody that I would recognize?
They are faceless statues. I'll just say you find one of them holding a cup, the other one holding a sword, and one holding a book, and another one holding a dagger.
Sword, book, cup, dagger?
Yeah. Rolly comes back.
I'll let the party know I found those statues.
I think that's when it occurs to you, Savannah. On the blueprint you have, there is no fountain installed.
Interesting. I'm gonna take the blueprints with me. I'm like, where'd you find that? Because there's nothing for a structure of a fountain here.
It's over here, and they're faceless statues. They're holding a sword, a cup, and I forgot the rest, honestly.
A book and a dagger.
A book and a dagger. Yeah,
That's so Rolly.
It struck me that they're faceless.
Yeah.
I mean, they're statues.
Yeah, but who makes a statue of a faceless thing?
Did they have any symbols or anything? Because you said they're all in different outfits.
I didn't get a good look at them. Just that's what I was able to see. It
Why
struck
does
me
this
as
feel
odd.
familiar? I just can't put it together. Or is that just a me thing?
No, it feels familiar, like a certain one shot.
Never mind. I'll go look at the statue that Rolly was talking about.
Okay. Rolly leads you back, and almost like you took a wrong turn, Rolly, and you're like, no, it's this way, and then you sort of backtrack and go the wrong way. You're passing by books and books and books of beautiful glass orbs that get off a soft illumination. You pass by, like in between where this fountain sits. It's in between, so like world literature and history. And you sort of sit between this where this library is. As you look at the blueprint, a lot of these bookshelves have been moved, Savannah, and there looks like there's been walls placed in here. This library is supposed to go further in. It's almost like half the library is cut off.
So this is an entrance.
Maybe.
And you can hear the soft trickle of water coming from a fountain. And Rolly leads you to where there is a statue of 4 figures, white stone, one holding a book, one holding a glass, and the other one holding a sword, and the last one holding a dagger.
I feel like there's no see no evil, hear no evil deal, but like they don't match. So
Yeah, something's up here.
what do their clothes look like?
Roll investigation check.
I'm gonna do eyes a minute scene. Oh, not bad. The first roll was I'll take. What's my 17.
17. A few things catch your eye. So first of all, yes, you do notice that there are different clothing on each one, almost like etched in within the stone. One of them looks like a scholar holding the book, almost outright in a very like poetic pose. The other one is almost leaned over one of the other statues' knees, almost like in a drunken stupor, holding the glass. The other one is holding a sword outwards, almost heroically, like an adventurer. and the last one is wielding a dagger, crouched down, trying to hide in the shadows. 4 aspects of a person. And with your roll, you also notice beyond just the facelessness of the statues, their ears have been very, very intricately designed. Someone made this like almost realistic ears.
Maybe they listen to us. Based off of that's a little weird.
As I get a better look at the statues, can I look to see other features that might be like? I'm looking for any sort of like altar or any sort of like structure that is connected to the statues or is near the statues to represent something.
I'll say, banking off what you've just looked at, and now with the assistance of Vera, it is sitting on like a pedestal, obviously, that's connected to where the actual water is being recycled. So there's like a sort of a little pond area in front. But you look around, there isn't a placard.
Question for DM, and I might have to roll for this. Did we encounter something like this before in the desert?
Oh yeah.
Roll me a history check with advantage.
One shot and that one. That was me remembering. I feel like one had a wand, one had a sword, and one.
3 for advantage.
I don't remember the ones.
You said a history check?
History check with advantage.
18.
18. I think for you specifically, 4 aspects of a person: a drunk, a hero, a cutthroat, and an intelligent person. And your hand instinctually goes towards your book with the symbol.
I pull out my book.
You pull out your book and you look at the symbol of the Raven's Kiss, and you're seeing those two. There's a connection.
I have to find those old notes. I'll go to the one with holding the book, or the one or where the symbol is.
Yeah. Oh, you go to the one that's I would deem the scholar.
Yeah, I'll go to the one that's deemed the scholar.
Sure. You go to the one in the scholar. Once again, sort of holding the book outwards, standing straight up, faceless with realistic ears, almost like carved in within the stone.
I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna activate my goggles to have the voice of Richard.
Okay. And what do you say?
Open?
There are 2 ways to open this. And this was I did not expect this way to be opened that way. The statue, all of them on top of the pedestal, along with the water, starts to slide to the left. And there is a small, you have to, especially you, Rolly, you have to sort of arch downward a little bit to go under. And there in front of you is another room that it is empty, and you get the scent of like a foul, stale air.
Did I find one of Richard's hobby, like hidden areas that I know there's many of?
That he made for her, maybe.
No, well, because remember he told us that he has multiple areas. The Raven's Kiss has multiple areas where they can just hide out. So I don't know. Random thought out of my brain. I'll crawl through the little hobby hole to get into the next room.
Sure. As I mentioned, it was a sizable chunk that was taken out of the library that made this. Right away, what's catching your eye, Savannah, is along the walls. Well, let me at least describe the room, and then I'll describe maybe the finer details. It is a empty room. Imagine if you were to walk into a library, cut it in half, and take out everything, it's completely bare, a shell. The only thing that is within this room is a small wooden chair in the middle, let's see here. There's a small wooden chair. There is a 8x11 stand mirror that is like almost propped on top of a side table that's next to the chair. And a small candle that is not lit. There are small cushions and like pillows that sort of circle, like almost like are pushed against the edges of the room. And the finer details you would notice is that there are symbols of the Raven's Kiss and Richard's symbol, almost like dust marks. This place used to be a little hidey hole that has been repurposed.
I mean, I could.
The repurposed part. I'm like, is there any arcane symbols on the mirror?
There are small arcane ruins on the actual like frame of the mirror.
Maybe if you say
Can
something.
I roll Arcanic head check to see if I recognize anything?
Roll me Arcana check.
Can I
What is
get-
everyone else doing?
I'm gonna give her guidance.
You're walking in as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Rolly?
Yeah. Thanks for the guidance.
I'm gonna take a look around while they do their thing because I don't have as much of a connection to Richard as they do, so I'm just gonna try to secure the area, if you will.
Okay. Roll me I'll allow you to do either or. Perception or investigation, Rolly, as you're sort of roaming the space. It's not a lot to look at because it's fairly empty. There's only like small things you can do. What was your Arcana?
With the guidance, that's 17.
17. You get close to the mirror, and within the mirror's reflection, you see that the candle's lit, but in real life, it's not. And you start to... That's the first thing you notice. And so there's something arcane and magical about it. And as you look at the ruins, it almost seems like it is there's something odd about it, but it almost like is infused with the scrying spell. And then I'm going to get your roll right now, Rolly, and we're going to hold on it. But what did you roll?
I rolled a 15.
15. Got it. Perfect. That's actually pretty... wasn't a high DC. But Savannah, that's what you figure out. Vera right next to you.
So
Maybe this is how.
that's scrying. So where is it scrying to?
Maybe if you look in the mirror. I mean, scry
It-
like focuses on the spell. I don't know about the mirror. Like you have to look for something or somebody. Generally, it's somebody, or you can look for like an object on that person. So I don't know if it's like affixed to a person or it's just like enchanted that way. You could try. Maybe if you say something in Thieves' Cant, it'll work. That's just Vera
Yeah,
guessing.
it's like I have the ability, but it's like, what do I say to it to work?
Maybe you could say "show me" and then fill in the blank.
Show me the money.
Show me fill in the blank.
I mean, maybe try your dad and it won't be so sus. I don't know. We could try
Let's-
Gina Lee, and she points to Rolly.
No,
I like that.
I'll say to the mirror, show me a Nika, but mother.
Okay. You have to light the candle.
Here's the flint.
I'm like, I have a tinderbox in my player's back. We didn't use. We could use that.
It's like light candle.
You light candle. As you light the candle, the flame that lights the candle jumps off and splits into two, jumps into the mirror, and the other one jumps onto your thumb. You take 5 points of fire damage as some of your blood is evaporated and used to fuel the magic. And immediately the mirror starts to show you Anika, your mother, who currently is eyes closed, breathing within a glass tube.
Hope she's alive.
Something occurs to you, Savannah. The flame that burned away some of your blood in order to fuel the casting of this, 5 hit points, but still could be dangerous to some who weren't as hardy as you. There was a moment where you could have directed it to someone else. And you realize that this mirror, anyone could try to cast scrying and throw it to someone to sacrifice their blood. And as this revelation is happening, Rolly, as you start to roam around the outer rim of this room, those pillows and cushions, one of them looks like it has dried blood on it. And get close to it. That's where that stale and foul smell's coming from all these cushions. And it really strikes you and dawns you that a lot of these cushions are uneven.
I will, against my better judgment, I will go for a closer look.
You go for a closer look, and you see some indentation of hands, arms, and you realize that these cushions are body bags.
I begin to have that whole heaving commotion, like I'm about to throw up.
Okay, I go over there.
I could just imagine that sound probably knocks me out of what me observing, but
I think I try to grab Rolly and then put my little desert cloth over his mouth and then just kind of, I can't move him, but gesture him to move away.
Rolly, roll me a perception check.
13.
13. Through one of the cushions, one of the bags, there is a small rip. And again, there's very little light. Only the light from the candle within the reflection. And by the way, once the spell ends, the candle is snuffed out from real life. You have to relight it and sacrifice 5 more. There is almost like a masculine hand sticking out with a familiar wedding ring.
Oh no. As soon as I see that, I just jump back in and go for that hand.
You rip open the bag, try to get a better view. You're hit with a thrust of smell and rot as numerous bodies have been used to fuel the scrying that Evergrey's been using. Connected to the hand are dirt on the hand. Hands of someone who's worked for their entire life. Strong forearms, strong biceps to a now deceased Ezekiel Barnwell.
Rolly is frozen. Not having processed anything yet. Just sinking in.
Yeah. I think while you're focusing on that spot, the rip that Rolly's a strong guy.
Yeah.
Just
probably was one go.
Several bags are ripped, down a line. Faces of strangers, men, women, all of them used as a battery, essentially, as fuel for a fire that used to to investigate and spy. While Rolly looks upon his father, you see another familiar face. One's holding excitement, love of the fight, love watching, is Jane McCullen, the grandmother to Henry.
Henry or Harvey?
Harvey, excuse me.
Sorry, I was like, I'm
Harvey.
writing these down.
Harvey.
It's still just sinking in, just the gravity of things. I, in this initial moment, Rolly then, it's kind of like an emotional panic. He starts going through some of the other bags, and you could see the tears in his eyes as he just almost animalistically, just without throwing caution to the wind, just ripping through bags upon bags, trying to see anyone else.
Yeah. Everyone else starts to see Rolly go into this frenzy. And as you are losing yourself within this task of finding, learning, and knowing, Savannah and Vera, you see Rolly's fingers start to become black like claws, like draconic scales, almost protruding from his forearms as he's ripping what he can. Through the tearing and through the sifting of bodies, obviously the smell becomes worse. But I think you are all lost in this task, and there are no other familiar faces, but there are plenty of innocents.
I'm trying to think of even what Vera would do. I think thematically, if the DM allows me, I know my shared burden is like for damage, but I think in this moment, Vera would try to do it for the emotions that Rolly is feeling.
I'll allow you to do that without spending it. And I'll, knowing this and seeing the tether happen, Savannah, would you like to be involved?
My brain is just like, I should try to stop him, but the other half is, there's no stopping that.
Do you tether yourself to the, include yourself in the tether of shared burden?
I'll include myself in the tether.
Rolly, you feel, as you're currently almost huffing out black flame, smoke, the fire from your bloodline and family, and then you go back to family, and it's almost sparkling like a flame catching within a wildfire. You are alone in a dark room with one who taught you everything, and not just lessons, morals, what makes a man, what makes a person. And you are alone, completely. Until finally, oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to add a little something to this. So you mentioned that when they did the tether. Well, actually, you haven't really said what they felt, so I will let you.
For sure.
'Cause I had something in mind.
Yeah, you could definitely interject whenever you feel like. You are alone in this room, and almost like your perception and your state, your grasp on this, on your in your area where you are drops, and you're just staring at the face that raised you. And as you're lost within this void, you feel two warmths. Vera, where do you Where do you place a hand on Rolly?
On his right.
On his hand? Grab his hand.
Like on his shoulder.
And Savannah, where do you?
Take the other shoulder.
2 warmths. As that feeling of anger and sadness is shared. And you know it's being shared. They can feel you.
Okay, so now I'm gonna describe what I feel. It's something that I know Vera and I have shared burden before, but this is something that she has never felt. Hey, Vera, imagine that you feel a lethal sting right into your heart, piercing, something that you've never, well, actually you probably have felt this before.
I would say it's different in the relationship versus like Uthiel's her husband and this is your father. So the relationship would be different.
So it's a similar but slightly different. Something that it just feels like a part of you is gone. Stripped from, ripped from the roots right out. Everything is sore, everything is just throbbing in pure, unadulterated pain. While at the same time, you feel an intense heat, an intense sensation of burning, something that wouldn't compare to the biggest wildfire you've ever seen. This is like almost akin to what a person entering hell for the first time would feel. Like just this complete just fire, this complete heat. And it's continuing to rise and rise and rise. And to put it in an emotional sense, a feeling of the void, a feeling of nothingness, a feeling of empty isolation, followed by the feeling of failure.
I think you also, and obviously Vera and Savannah can correct me if I'm wrong. This emanates out from you, Rolly. And you know it's being shared by both Vera and Savannah. And I think there might be... You feel what they feel as well within the shared burden, the way it's being used, is you're feeling an old pain from Vera.
Yeah.
The old pain
sure.
of knowing that void.
I think, not to cut you, but I think the failure is very much there. Like she felt like she failed the first time.
And then you feel from Savannah, which I think would be a budding new void of concern. As the last thing you saw before sharing this feeling, Savannah, is your own mother facing a possible end as well. And there is that combination of now knowing from Rolly, an old feeling that's always there from Vera, and a new fear from Savannah. You've all experienced this now.
I think when we share it, we've kind of we haven't really touched on, I guess, the semi-fae part of Vera's emotions. Like, she can obviously control it now, but I think it's very much anger. It's not so much sadness. Like, she feels sadness for her friend and for his family, but I think it's just unadulterated anger. So, like, when her hair changes, fully letting it, I think to encompass some of Rolly's power, like the leaves turn to autumn, but when they fall, they very much incinerate themselves in flames, because that's what she's sharing in the moment.
into reality, Rolly is just continuing on and on and on. At this point, I don't think Rolly has ever felt as alone as he does right now. I don't think he's ever felt this alone. That the one thing that he held above everything has been forcefully taken from him. And now the knowledge of knowing that he went out like a used tool that broke.
You come back as shared burden, I believe, is only a reaction. All of these
Yeah.
feelings and all of the shared knowledge and emotion is done. You take a breath, all of three of you. Lock eyes upon each other, knowing what was just done between you all. Knowing that intent, how you felt, how the end was done. All of you are aware. It was all shared. And we now leave you guys within the scrying room. A dark, empty space with bags around. Familiar faces, some. And we will return with episode 98.
Actually, there's one thing I do want to do.
Sure.
Before we cut off. Broly is in the middle of essentially what's going to become a breakdown. The force of the gravity of the thing, the situation has it's just starting to hit. It's just starting to manifest itself. So in that impulsiveness of finding just bodies upon bodies of people he doesn't recognize, he's gonna go to the mirror, and he's gonna say to the mirror, "Show me Gina Lee."
Sacrifice 5 HP. Flame jumps from your finger, burns away some of your blood, jumps into the flame, or into the mirror. And you see, I'll say with this new intensity, you do still see Gina Lee breathing, captured within a glass tube. Roll me a d20, and I will allow, because of Vera and Savannah sharing in the burden, all three of you roll me a d20. You take the highest out of all three.
Better be good.
Straight roll.
Straight roll.
18.
18's the highest.
Straight roll. You said, right?
10.
Straight roll, right?
Straight roll.
17.
17. 18. Taking Savannah's roll. Your vision pulls back from the mirror, and you see that there is a track, sort of a small corridor track with numerous tubes that go into almost like a holding cell. And you see that there is a light at the end of this track, and the tube moves. Something else went ahead, and you get a sense that Gina Lee, as well as maybe some other familiar faces, don't have a lot of time.
With this realization in play, Rolly is gonna turn around, walking back towards the party, grab his axe, and then immediately do a 180, charging at the mirror, and he's gonna shatter it.
The flame within the reflection snuffed. Glass shatters across the floor. And we end on Rolly turning around at your friends, all almost mirroring and mimicking that same expression and feeling you've had. That's where we're gonna end it, I think. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 97. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Like we need